The next step in my drawing is I want to add dimensions that are missing, such as the size of this slot. So for this slot, it's a bit small. I could dimension it here, but instead I'm going to go to the view layout. Then I'm going to make a detailed view of this. So I'm going to activate detail view. Notice my mouse has now changed. It's going to create a circle. So I'll make the center of the detail right here where the V meets. And I'll drag out and I'll click to create my detail view. Over here I can change the letter, any settings I want within it. And I'm just going to move my detail view here and click to place it. And I'll say OK. So I'll move the right side view over a bit and the detail view up a bit. And I'd like to make its alignment in line with this. So I'll move all these views over just a little. I want to still maintain a gap here. And I'll move the right side view over as well. So I want to align this with my right side view. I'm going to get over the view. I know it's selected when I see this rectangle. I'm going to right click. I'm going to go to alignment and I'm going to align it horizontally by the origin with this view. Now it's aligned with this view. To add the dimensions, just go back to the annotation, smart dimension. This is 90 degrees as is visually obvious. But if I'm not certain people will realize that, I'll go ahead and I'll add the angle dimension. Now when this is made, to measure the actual cut, a 1/4 inch dowel pin will be put in here. That's why when we created it, we gave the dimension across here. So I want to actually show that in my view and add that dimension. To do that, to show the measurement across the dowels, I'm going to exit the dimension mode here. And I want to show it in this view. So I'm not sure what view this is. So when I click on it, it tells me it's drawing view 35. I'll say OK. Scroll down here, I'm on my sheet, here's drawing view 35, and I'm going to expand that, and I'll expand the part, and now what I want to do is I want to find the sketch I used to make that. So here's my dovetail feature, and here's the sketch. To show the sketch, I'll right click and select show. So now I see the sketch, and I can go ahead and I can smart dimension from there, or I could insert the model items. I'm just going to select smart dimension. And I want a dimension to the outside of these, so I'm going to hold my shift, select this one. Still holding shift, I'll select this. If I accidentally let it go, and I did, that's okay. Because remember, I can come to the leaders, and I can tell I want the max condition on both. And I'll say okay, and now I have the dimension across the dowels. I'm going to move it up a bit so it's nice and neat. So the other thing I need to tell them is what size dowel are they dimensioning across. So again, I'll go back to Smart Dimension. I'm going to select that dowel, and it tells me it's a 1/4 inch. And how many places is that? Well, there's 2. So I'll come back here. I'll move my cursor to the front, and I'm going to add the 2 times so that it's obvious there are 2 of these. And I'll accept that. The remainder of this part, you should be able to dimension easily as per figure 10.25 on page 228 of your textbook. If I wanted to break the alignment of this, I decided I don't want it aligned here. Maybe I'm going to make my scale larger. Again, I'm going to so I've selected the view, so I see the square. I'll right click, I'll go to alignment, and I'll tell it to break the alignment. I'm going to now move it down a bit, and I will change its scale. So again, with it selected, I'm going to come over here. I have my detail view selected. I'm going to scroll down. And I'm going to change its scale. I'll make it a bit larger. I'll go 6:1 or 8:1. 8:1's a bit big. Let's try 6:1. That's fine. I'll need to move this dimension. And my 90 degrees comes off. So first I'm going to select it. And I'm going to set its decimal places to none. And then I'll move it so it's back on the sheet and it's not off of here. So now the detail view is nice and clear. What's missing is, do I know it's on center? It's visually, it is, but I should add a center line. So I'm going to come back, I'm going to say, let's add a center line between these 2 lines in this view. And I'll say okay, and now I'll need to neaten up the dimension. In the next video, I'm going to go over how to add overall dimensions to an assembly drawing.